How good can Justin Fields be on the New York Jets? And that's a big question going into this season because, with the Jets moving off of Aaron Rodgers and instilling a quarterback like Justin Fields from the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's like either a transitional move or a permanent move. Um, so we'll break that down in today's video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to SoBack Sports, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about Justin Fields again on this channel. You probably, if you're old on this channel, you've known that you know Justin Fields being a Chicago Bear for so long, um, and the whole discourse between keeping him and moving on to Caleb Williams was a whole thing, and I was a part of that discussion. But listen, at the end of the day, Justin Fields is no longer my quarterback, but he will hold a special place in my heart. Um, Very good guy, very easy to root for. So wish him the best of luck on the New York Jets. But I have to be real sometimes. We'll have to really break down like why what is his ceiling and what is his floor for the New York Jets, because we did get some kind of an inkling on the Pittsburgh Steelers on how good he could be in a system that prevents him from making mistakes, and that was the Arthur Smith system. He let's actually take a look at what he did in Pittsburgh, because Justin Fields' stats on Pittsburgh didn't play that much. 1,106 yards, five touchdowns, and one interception. And you have to also throw in a couple rushing touchdowns as well with the 93.3 QBR. Not bad, like, with the amount of snaps he got. And they have won games with him. I think they switched to Russell Wilson once he got healthy, or like I think 6 games in. So Justin Fields was 4-2 at that point. And listen, Justin Fields needed a new spot, especially with what happened on Pittsburgh. And I think the one team that was willing to give him a shot was the New York Jets. And with the new transition from the Aaron Rodgers era, which and listen, as a Bears fan, I'm happy that Aaron Rodgers is getting cooked left and right, but now they've essentially swapped, if you think about it. So Pittsburgh gave away Justin Fields, and Aaron Rodgers decides to go to the Steelers. That's just really what happened here. It just took a minute for it to really like all settle down, really. And I think the one thing that we have to really look into when it comes to Justin Fields and how he will succeed in New York, because New York is like Chicago, a crazy market. And yes, they're in Rutherford, New Jersey, but at the end of the day, Jets fans are, they've been through a lot. They have high expectations. A lot of them probably have a low expectations now with how, you know, things have really occurred, especially with the Aaron Rodgers hype. You know how that was at all time high, and now look at where they are right now, which sucks. And like Justin Fields could be that like spark potentially that really revitalizes their hope really. um, but it just really depends on how they utilize Justin Fields. Because if you look at how the Bears utilize him and how the Pittsburgh Steelers utilized him, like Justin Fields had a lot of overcoaching in Chicago. And you can blame it on coaching. You can blame it on Justin Fields as well, because he does tend to make mistakes. As much as back then I tried to, you know, give him, so the benefit of the doubt a lot, but I think that it's a two-way street at that point. Like, it was some times on him and most of the time on the coaching. Um, on the Steelers, they found a way to make sure that he doesn't make that many mistakes. He does fumble. He has a fumbling problem. But last year he didn't throw as many interceptions as possible because he only threw one. But he the amount of mistakes were limited due to the fact that they limited the where he throws the ball. or the options to where he throws the ball. And I think that's what's going to be key going into this season, especially with trying to build Justin Fields' confidence, because it's like you said, like I said, he didn't play that many games. So the fact that he lost his job essentially being 4-2 to Russell Wilson kind of was like a little damper on like the trajectory that he was going on. And did he play amazing on the Steelers like when he was on the field? No. He didn't play insane. But he played good enough for them to win games at the end of the day. Um but I guess that Cowboys game on Sunday Night Football did kind of turn an eye for everyone, be like, okay, there's limitations to him. But I think with another full half a season off, he was able to still learn. He was entered in games for like package plays and stuff like that. Uh, most of the time it was successful, most of the time it wasn't. But I think the three key reasons it could work is because you know Aaron Glenn, he's a defensive minded head coach, which isn't great, but he is a figure that will allow the offensive coordinator to dictate the term. I think it was Engstrom that is the former passing game coordinator for the Detroit Lions, I think. And he will be the new offensive coordinator for Justin Fields. So that's one thing. The coaching staff could help. And I think the 2 and 3 kind of go hand in hand, where he has Garrett Wilson and he has a bunch of his Ohio State teammates like Elijah Vera Tucker as well. So having some players that you're familiar with always is a good thing, especially when it comes to, building chemistry, knowing where their tendencies are, knowing how they play is really good. And Justin Fields, they're friends at the end of the day. So it's going to really benefit only him. And now let's go to the real question is how good can Justin Fields be on the New York Jets? And listen, with the division that they have, with the Buffalo Bills being the number one team in that division, Miami faltering halfway through in the season when it gets to cold weather, um, and then the Patriots on the rise a little bit. I think it will take a little bit of time for them to make a move or make a big jump into the play because they just got Vrabel. But I just think that the Jets are in a decent position. They have a lot of good pieces around. They have a relatively decent offensive line now, um, especially with the addition they made in the draft. Um, so Justin Fields, in theory, should be able to thrive in this offense. Like, should be. And it really just depends on how they utilize him. Because if they utilize his, only his passing ability and neglect his running ability and moving out of the pocket, I think that's going to be a recipe for disaster. Because teams have done that. The Bears have done that, especially in 2023, focusing on, his passing, which is the right thing at times. But to solely remove that element of running for touchdowns and stuff like that, like that's going to be a key detriment to Justin Fields and his ability to be a successful quarterback for the New York Jets. For passing, utilizing and making sure that Justin Fields, doesn't hold on to the ball too long. That's what's going to be key. Him seeing the field, going through his progressions is what's going to be a focus for Engstrom. I forgot his name, the new Jets offensive coordinator. I'm going to say that. Because time and time again, like it's frustrating at times because you will see open shallow routes and he won't hit them. And listen, he's gotten a little bit better on the Steelers, but I think he just needs more of that. And I think the more you coach that into him, especially in real game scenarios, I think the sky's the limit for him. But until I see that, like I can't really fully commit to him being like their savior of the New York Jets because that's just not realistic. because you can go from, this insane habit that you have, and all of a sudden it's gone. That does not how it works. That's not how it works in the NFL. Like, you can train yourself out of it. You can limit the amount of mistakes you make, like mental errors you make. And I think one thing that Justin Fields has said over and over and over again was the amount of overcoaching he's had, the amount of, overthinking he has in his mind when it comes to the amount of factors that are like going through his mind when it comes to the NFL and his wide receivers, who is moving where, what puzzle pieces fit where. Like, he needs to relax. And I think once he relaxes and once he's able to get, a sense of, the game's kind of slowing down a bit for him. I know it's year 5, I think, at this point, and we're talking about the game slowing down for him. But that just the reality of the situation. As a fan of Justin Fields and as a person that's seen him play for Chicago, like, I feel like I can, without a doubt, say what I can about Justin Fields. Yeah, I just think that, that's going to be a big task for Aaron Glenn. And I think from what reports have been saying, like, he's been doing pretty good. He's still a leader. Like, that leadership mentality is still not gone from Justin Fields. That commanding, not relative commanding, like that commanding presence that he has at times. Like, as long as they utilize him properly, I think his ceiling, they can probably win at least 9 games this year. Very much so. It's just that I think that there will be games where it will be close, and we have to really see if Justin Fields can be clutch, because we've only really seen that one time, and in that one time, he fumbled the ball and then got a chance to win the game as well. So if he's able to find a way to be clutch somehow, I think that will help them win games going forward. That will be towards their ceiling of 9-10 games max. I don't think I can see them win more than that. But I still think that their floor is still like a lukewarm 5 games at the moment, because or like 5 to 6 games. I think they'll improve a little bit. Let me see what the Jets record was last year. Record. They were 5-12. Yeah, they were 5-12. So yeah, I could see them their floor being 6 to 7 games. And I still think that their ceiling can be 9 to 10 games, which is fine. Like, hey, that's being relatively competitive in a pretty not really competitive AFC East. Like, you could be second place. I think they can get second place if everything goes right. They can get second place. Like, their schedule isn't terrible either. Like, they don't have one of the toughest schedules. I mean, they have to play the Ravens the Bills a couple times. Eagles is a preseason. Steelers, Broncos, Bengals, Browns. Like, they'll have some tough games, but I feel like that's relatively winnable of a schedule. Well, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Do you think Justin Fields is going to be a good quarterback for the New York Jets? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to read what you guys have to say. Always remember to like and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. It really helps me create content like this for you guys. We'll be having more content coming soon. The podcast episodes are coming out as well, so stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, we'll see you guys in the next one.